Hello, everyone, and welcome to Rizono Live, where we share real stories and real voices. Here, truth hits different because some stories simply cannot be ignored. Today, we're diving into a disturbing case that exposes exactly how dangerous racism can be when it hides behind a badge. This story focuses on a former police chief from Miami, Raimundo Atesiano. This man was trusted to protect a community, yet used his position to target innocent Black people for crimes they never committed. Atesiano was sentenced to federal prison after ordering his officers to arrest any Black person they saw walking in the area and pin an unsolved crime on them. Yes, you heard that correctly. The chief of police instructed his officers to randomly arrest Black people for walking while Black. He later went on to claim to have reduced crime in the area. Take a look.
We have a 100% clearance rate on burglary cases in the village of Biscayne Park. This is the first time that I've ever known that to happen in any department.
But just a few years later, news reporters were telling a totally different story from what he bragged about.
In a small town, a small suburb, Biscayne Park is accused of telling his officers to arrest random Black people in order to just boost stats. And this is from one of the officers in the report. Anthony De La Torre says they were told, if they have burglaries that are open cases that are not solved yet, if you see anybody Black walking through our streets and they have somewhat of a record, arrest them so we can pin them for all the burglaries. And he's not the only officer. 4 officers, which comes up to a third of the small force, told an outside investigator they were under marching orders to file these bogus charges to improve the department's crime stats. The police chief in question, Raimundo Atesiano, denies all these allegations. But I want to tell you this. During his 2-year tenure, 29 of 30 burglary cases were solved. And the year after he left, the force didn't solve any, not one, the year after he left.
And this is important because anytime some says they were the victim of racism, people ask, did he or she say anything about your race? But this case shows exactly why that logic is dangerous. A racist person can smile, shake hands, rise through the ranks, and never say a word about race while carrying deep racial prejudice. He didn't magically become racist the moment he became chief. He carried those beliefs the entire time, but he would not have made it so far up the ranks if he had been saying racist things out loud all along. Just imagine how many lives he quietly damaged when he was still a patrol officer. Then imagine how many Black people cried racism and were dismissed simply because he never said anything racist out loud, even though his actions were driven by race the entire time. When Atesiano took over as police chief in Biscayne Park, several innocent Black people were swept into his scheme. One victim was just 16 years old when he was falsely arrested and charged with multiple burglaries he had nothing to do with. Another man was wrongfully arrested, wrongfully convicted, and deported to his home country, all because the chief decided his skin color was a crime. The truth came out when several officers wrote letters to the village manager, exposing the illegal orders they had been pressured to follow. In 2018, Atesiano pleaded guilty to violating the civil rights of innocent people and was sentenced to 3 years in federal prison. So the next time you dismiss a claim of racism because the accused didn't say anything about race, remember this case. None of these officers wrote in their reports that they arrested them because they're Black. They didn't tell these innocent people that they were being charged because of their skin color. But their skin color was exactly the reason. This is why listening to people's lived experiences matters. This is why racial profiling is not just a claim, but a reality. And this is why Rizono Live exists, to shine a light on the stories that were never supposed to be told.